Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode of Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well. Got your mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place on this Monday morning. So, first off, just want to give a big thanks and appreciation to all those that wished myself and Danielle a very happy birthday this past weekend. Got a lot of messages, text messages, Facebook messages, Instagram, all over the place. Got a lot of love and support out there. So a lot of nice messages and stuff like that. People haven't heard from in a while, just out of nowhere sent me a message. Didn't get a chance to get back to everyone. Busy weekend, traveling, competing, and then trying to spend some time with family and stuff like that. So appreciate you, okay? Because I still, like I said, still haven't got back to everyone on all the other platforms or whatever, but I just wanted to get that out there. That definitely saw a lot of love out there. So feels good, feels really good. Anyways, to the message of the day for the week. Okay, so I'm going through the routine, walk my dog already, got my run in, and I'm listening to, again, just different things, how I start my morning. And one of the investment podcast things that I'm listening to just had a little message that kind of caught my attention, and also because the guys that I listened to, they started training jiu-jitsu, and they kind of used a jiu-jitsu as a way to kind of get the message across. So it really piqued my interest, right? So consistent persistence, all right, consistent persistence. And what this guy was talking about was, again, he's talking about jiu-jitsu, so it grabbed my attention even more, was he was talking about, people that start jiu-jitsu in the beginning. It's exciting, it's new, it's something that you're trying to, it's got your interest because you're just starting, just like anything else that you start, right? And so he's like, how do you work through those when you get past that stage where it's no longer like fun and exciting because you've been doing it for a while. You get past that year mark, year and a half mark, 2-year mark, and so on. How do you keep going? And he used the word like, how do you dig through the trenches is what he said. And so I'm waiting to hear what he has to say. And he said it's consistent persistence, and it's true. Like, it's absolutely true. Like, how do you get past these points where, like, let's say you're in a position where you're like trying to eat healthy and diet, and you're losing some weight and you're doing really good and the weight's coming off and you're feeling good, looking good, but then you hit that point where it kind of just plateaus a little bit. Or weightlifting, want to use weightlifting, you get to a point where like you're getting some good gains and you're looking good, and then you just kind of plateau a little bit. Well, jiu-jitsu is very similar to that. It's like you start off and you're learning and you're picking up all these new techniques, and you're learning how to do submissions, and it's how creative it is, and it's awesome. And then it's like you kind of hit like a plateau, you hit a wall. And how do you dig through that? How do you work through those kind of things? So it's in all areas of life where you're always going to start something new, and it's exciting, and it's got your attention. But then when you get to a point where it gets tough, or you've just been doing it for a while, and it's like, how do you keep doing it once you get to that point? Consistent persistence. And I can relate to this on so many levels because, again, I think someone asked me the other day, like, how long I've been training jiu-jitsu, and it's been like since the mid-90s. And it was funny because the other day in class, I'm teaching class, I think it was Thursday or something like that, Friday, whatever. I was talking about how I won pans in the gi at brown belt in the featherweight division, Master 1. And a couple of my guys just looked at me, and I'm like, yeah, I was like in 2006, I think. And it was funny because one of my students that he is now a brown belt laughed and was like, man, I think I was 3 years old at that time. And it's a trip because like I just turned 47, and I got 14 years in as a black belt now. I've been competing consistently since 2002. Okay, so for 20 years. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for obviously, well over that. So it's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time, and it flies and it goes by really quick when you're like focused and you have goals that you're trying to achieve and you're just getting after it. Time goes by really fast, and it has. And so, but one of the things that's the same in everything is the consistent part. Like I've been consistently training jujitsu for a very long time. I've been consistently competing for a very long time. I've had these conversations with my students the last couple of weeks, because some students, they want to be a champion or a world champion or just a champion period, like a Naga champion or AGF champion or new breed champion, IBJJF champion, whatever champion. And so I can see like the work is there as far as the jiu-jitsu part, but like the other part isn't there. The other consistent part of taking care of yourself isn't there, of their health and eating the right foods and hydrating like they're supposed to, and getting to me, cardio is super important. So their cardio in, their runs in, and their weightlifting in. Like I see students that they kind of do that, or they do it like off and on, but it's not a consistent thing. Like it's not something that they do all the time. It's just when something comes up, right? It's like someone that's like, oh, I want to get in shape because I'm going to Cancun in a month or 2 months. I want to look good on the beach. And then as soon as they come back from Cancun or a wedding or, whatever, that they're trying to fit into that look nice for their suit or their dress, then it's just right back to whatever it is that they were doing. And then something else will come up and like, oh, it's time for me to get in shape now. And it's time for me to eat healthier. And I want to look good for whatever it is that you're trying to look good for. But it's not consistent. It's not a consistent thing. It's not something that you're doing all the time. And it has to be. Like anything like this investing stuff I'm listening to, it's the same thing. It's like jiu-jitsu business stuff that I listen to, investing stuff I listen to. Anybody that's I watch a lot of the like 30 for 30 ESPN. I like interviews and like top athletes, like what makes them different, or how they got to where they got to, and to leave a mark and be a legend that they are. And it's just consistency. It's just like just having, like, when even you don't feel like it, like you're gonna do it anyways. Like I like last weekend I had this, I'm trying to prepare for this tournament, and it's birthday weekend coming up, and I got family that were leaving out of town, and and it's like, man, everyone's like they want to party, they want to hang out. And I'm getting these questions of like, well, why do you got to compete? Like, why do you want to compete? And it's just something I wanted to do. I wanted to go and compete on my birthday. It helps me stay focused. It helps me stay in shape. It helps me, focus on my jiu-jitsu game and improve it and make it better, my strategy and like what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at my computer screens right here, but spent a lot of time in this office right here, along with on my phones, studying like opponents and matches, and just trying to get better consistently. And so I really there was a couple of days last week where I just didn't really feel like running, and I really didn't feel like training, as weird as that might sound, but there are days like that, and so I had to push through mentally, because it's like, I need to get this done so that I am 100% prepared physically and mentally to get ready to go into this coming weekend. I had a new opponent, never grappled him, never fought him before. Don't know his game, saw a little stuff on flow grappling, stuff like that, but really didn't know what to expect. And so I got the runs in, and then there was 2 days at least last week for sure where I got good training in the morning, and that other side to me was like, when it came to the night class, like, all right, I'm good. Like, I got good training this morning. I don't really need to train tonight. But then that's that weak side, right? Like, that's that weak side talking to you, like, hey, you're and then I didn't have to, I went up a weight class, so I really didn't have to cut any weight. So I just something didn't feel right. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Like, I'm competing this week. I'm talking to myself, right? Like, these are the conversations I'm having with myself. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, I gotta muster up the whatever I need to get the rounds in. And I think it was, I want to say it was Thursday night, Wednesday and Thursday. After I got my training in on Thursday, uh, I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I did it. Like I got through the week of like some ups and downs where like I woke up feeling good, got some good training in the morning, then at night, sore, beat up, whatever, or maybe just I just don't feel like it. And it's kind of like your feelings kind of get in the way. I just didn't feel like it, but I know what I have to do, and I need to get this thing done and be consistent with my pattern of training that I always do. Because the week of a tournament, I don't take the time off. Like I train all the way until Thursday, run, workout, and the workout's a little bit less as far as like lifting weights. It's more of like push-ups and dips and pull-ups and squats, like body weight squats and stuff like that. Some extra stretching, but the runs are still there, and then the training is still there. And because I need to feel good mentally that I'm ready. And even though the other side was talking to me about well, you don't have to cut weight, so you don't really need to run that much. You don't, you don't really need to train as much because you don't need to burn the calories. Because normally I need to run and get those 2 training sessions in to keep my weight in check so that, I can obviously make weight. But I was going up a weight class, so I didn't have to do that. So that other side is basically telling me to relax. And I had to fight that off last week. So it's just, that's not my pattern of behavior. That's not the way I do things. And so I just got it done. And afterwards, I felt better. It's always one of those things, like whenever you just don't feel like doing something and you're supposed to be doing something, and when you get that thing done, you just feel better about it. You don't feel like running, you go for a run, you feel better. You don't feel like training today, you had a long day at work, and now you got to drive across town or wherever to get to class. Once you get done with training, always feel better. You're going to feel bad if you eat certain foods, at least I do. Actually, we were at a restaurant yesterday, new restaurant in Mansfield, and they really didn't have any healthy options. Like, it just wasn't my thing. Like, I just didn't really eat, and I went somewhere else where they did have some healthier options because it was just, again, it's not my thing. I'm consistent with the way that I do things, and it makes me feel better afterwards. Like, I don't feel good about myself when I eat something that isn't healthy. It just makes me question and doubt myself. Like, why did I do that? Like, why did I put that in my system? Like, it's not going to benefit me. And then I had some grilled chicken and some veggies afterwards yesterday, and just the plate alone, looking at it, made me feel good. And then when I ate it, obviously I felt a lot better. So the consistent actions is what I'm getting at, guys. Is what I got from this investing thing I was listening to, and just patterns of behavior. If you just consistently be persistent with the things that you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be successful. You're going to have some failures. You're going to lose sometimes because you can't win all the time, and losing is actually good for you because it gets to expose some weaknesses in your game. But you will have more success if you are consistently persistent with the way your habits are, like winning habits. And that's what I want. That's what I want to show for my students, and that's what I want to show to the people around me, my friends and family. Like this is how you get things done. This is what you're supposed to do, even when you don't feel like it. If you just consistently just stay on the path, you will be successful. You will get to that end goal at some point or another. Versus the taking the breaks. It's just one of those things that I think everyone can relate to. Anything that you can think about in your life that you took a break from, that you just didn't consistently do, you're obviously probably aren't as good at as the things that you are consistently doing. Your health isn't going to be consistently good if you're not really taking care of it like you're supposed to. You're just always going to be sore if you're just working out, then stop working out, and stop working out. You're training jiu-jitsu, then you take a break, come back to jiu-jitsu, take a break. You're always going to get hurt, pull something, and it's not enjoyable when it's just, you're always in pain just because your body's not callous to it anymore. So if you can just stay on the path and be consistent with persistence, all right, you will be successful. And so what I got today, I know this kind of stuff, but I need to hear it. I need to listen to it. And I listen to it every day throughout the day, as especially in my mornings, how I start my day. It's a very consistent thing. Like if I wake up and I don't hit the play button on these playlists of these things that I'm listening to, it just feels off. So my morning is just off. It, like my mind starts to drift, and I'm you know, negative things start to creep in. And once I hit play and I'm listening to all these, you know, positive, good things, and I'm listening to about, you know, generational wealth and wealth management and business and motivational stuff, and like, man, how can I lose? I really can't. My mind is in a good place. What's playing in between my ears here are just really good stuff. So it just keeps my mind in a really good place. So if you're not consistently doing stuff like that, it's going to be very hard to get to the top. You know, I hear things all the time, like, you know, like when I win a tournament or something like that, like, oh, I'm not surprised. Or, you know, the other thing that people tell me is like I never lose. I do lose. It's just I'm consistent, though. I do have a consistent pattern of winning, but that has everything to do with all the underlying things that people don't see of what I just talked about when I feel like something, when I don't feel like something, like how I talk to myself, like I'm being weak, I'm being soft, like my opponent, whoever that is, or opponents, they're probably training, they're probably working out, they're probably running, they're probably eating right, they probably got an extra training session in this week. Like all of that stuff starts to creep in, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get up, I gotta make some moves, I gotta go, I gotta get to class, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm not gonna allow those things to beat me. If I lose, it's because that individual was just better than me. I made a mistake, they capitalized on it, they just had a good day, but it'll never be because I just didn't get the work done and I wasn't consistent with the way I do things, my winning habits. So get some winning habits, be consistently persistent with those things, and things will dramatically improve for you. And it just will, you know, no one's unstoppable, but you will definitely create this freight train that's just really hard to stop because you are just doing all the right things to put yourself in the win column. So, and I'm talking about not just like competition wise, I'm talking about just life in general, period. Winning at life and doing good things, and, you know, putting yourself in a position to where like you can show other people how to do it. And I enjoy that. All right, guys. Wanted to get that out to you. It's time to get up to class, get some work in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a great day. We'll see you.